Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, we segment all that our routes, right? All that our routes I have added, all that our user related routes I have added into the user, and also all that our task related route I have added into the task, right? And in here I have added that our route, and also here that is all that our function. Now I want to segment our this function. Okay, only all that our routes will be in our particular route area, all that our function will be in our another place. So how can do that work? For doing this, we have to do here better, that is our task folder. Into the task folder, now I want to create another new folder, and I just name it as a controller. I name it as a controller, and into the controller area here I want to create two of this new file. One is for the task, one is the task.js, or you can use whatever the name actually you choose. Right now I use that as a task.js, and also want to create another new file, and I name it as a user.js. Okay, both of these files I simply created. Great. Now if you go to our route, that means our task route, into the task route, that is all that our function. I simply select this function. Okay, I simply select this function, and then from here I cart it. Okay, I cart it from to this area, and now in our task controller, into the task controller here I simply added that name as a export. From here you can also export it one by one, rather than if you want to export it directly the module, you can also export it. Okay, right now I simply add that as a export, and I just name it as a store. Okay, store task, and then here I paste it. Okay, I simply paste our total things in here. I hope friend it's very much clear to you. So now also we have to export it, so I will do that work. Right now that is our one task. I simply complete it. That is one of the post, right? For the reasons here I name it as a store, so I name it as a store task. And then also another one, so this one for the get data, so I simply cart it. I simply cart it from to this position. That is our another one. You can see how much now clean it is. Now there is our another one, and that is for the all task. I want to take another name. Okay, here that will be the export. Okay, that will be the exports, and then I name it as a fetch all task. Okay, fetch all tasks, and then here I want to paste it. Okay, so then that will be our function, and that will be our method name. Great. And now also I want to take our another one, that is for the get a specific single task, right? Now I want to take this part also. I cart it, and then in our task area I want to name it as export, and I name it as a get single task. Okay, get single task, this type of one of the name, and then I want to paste it. Okay, I simply paste it in here, which is totally fine. And also there is another one, this one for the update, right? I want to take this functionality. I simply cart it functionality from here, and now in our task, into the task area I want to name it as export. Okay, export, and then the update. Okay, update task, I simply paste it. Great. I hope it's very much clear to you. I simply take our export name. There is our another one as a single task, fetch all data, and then store task. Now we have to that is our all the task, right? We have to load this task model. So in the here I want to take it. That will be the same as a constant, and then the task. So just simply understand friend how that functionality actually work. Okay, because that is very much important things. If you want to segment all that your route, if you want to segment all that your functions, how can do that work? Now that should be very clear. Okay, into this required right now I just simply take that our file name or file folder name, that will be into our model folder, right? Into the model folder I have to simply take it our another one as a task. So that is our task. Okay, as I told you friend, just simply understand all that procedure, how can actually segment all that your routes, how can segment all that your functions. Right now that is all that our function, right? I simply required it, that is our model task. I simply loaded that things in here. So we successfully complete our task portion. Now we have to work in our user, right? So first of all, that is our user route. Better I take it in here, right? That is our route. So we have to first of all load our model. I copy it. So the controller I load this model, that will be our user, right? we make it as a user, and into the model task here right now I'm going to load or again this folder. There is a model folder, and into this model folder now I'm going to load our model as a user. Great. And our REST procedure will be same. If you go to that our user, into the user, first of all there is a post, right? That means the create user. I want to take it. Okay, I take it and I cart it from to this position, and now in our user I want to exports. I want to exports. I name it as a create user. Okay, create, what are the name actually choose. Right now I'm actually using that create user, which is totally fine. Great. And also there is another one is a get all that user. I simply cart it, and then I make it as a, that will be the get user. Okay, after that I name as a exports, and then get all user, and then I simply paste this or all that function. Okay, all that function for the get a user, which I have already done it before. And now there is also another one as a, this one is for find by ID, right? That means this one is for the get single data. So I want to simply cart it, and now in our users I name it as exports, and then get single user. Okay, get single user, and then I paste it. Great. And also there is another one as a patch method. That means that is for the update. I simply take all the things from here, all that are functions, I cart it, and now in our user I name another one as exports, and then update user. Okay, update user, and I name, paste it, everything in here. Great. So that is our total function. Great. And also now another one, this one is for the delete. I cart it. Okay, cart it from to this area, and now in our user I want to take it, that will be the exports, and then I make it as a delete. Okay, delete user, and then our function. Okay, function for the delete. Great. So I successfully updated all that information. So now go back to our task.js. So into the task.js, that is all that our route, right? Better I take it in one line, so everything is great. So first of all, here right now we don't need this, because of all, if you go to our task, I have already into the task controller I have loaded our this model, right? Right now we don't need this. I simply remove it. Here only we have to load our controller. So if you want to load this controller, now we have to do, if you want to load it, then that will be the constant, into the constant with the curly bracket. Okay, with this curly bracket it will be get it, and now I want to require it. That means I want to import, that will be the require. Okay, that will be the require, and require our folder name, that is from here we have to go to that controller folder, and into this controller folder for the task I have created that task. Now I simply load it. Great. So I loaded our task, and into this task area now I have created all that our function, right? That is all that our function as a storage task. Now I copy it, and now we have to one by one add the things in here. Okay, better in particular that position I simply add one. And also there is another one I have created as a fetch all task. I paste it, and also there is another one is a get single task. I will simply take this guest in index task, single task, and then there is our update task, right? I copy it, and then after that I simply paste it. Okay, I hope it's very much clear to you. And now one by one we have to pass it in our this URL area. Okay, here I simply pass that is to task, I pass that fetch all data, I pass that single one, and also this one for the update. Okay, I simply pass it. How much easy process? I hope it's very clear. So you just understand that process, friends. So that is very much important. So now our storage task, I pass it in here. Our fetch data, all that functions now I added in here. That is a get single task I added, and the update task I also added in here. Okay, so here we successfully done it for the task. Now we have to do the same things for the user. So our process will be just like that same. Better right now I save it in one line, everything here, everything is in here. Great. Now that is our user, all that route here. First of all, now we don't need this model, because in our user I have already loaded, you can see into the user controller I have already loaded that our user model. Now only we have to input this controller, and also we have to get all that our method. Right now we don't need this. I simply remove it, and then if you want to get it, then that will be as a one of the curly bracket into this curly bracket area. Here first of all you have to load it. That will be as a require, right? So that will be as a require, and into this require area we have to load. That will be our folder name as a controller. Into the controller now we have to load that our another controller that I have created as a user. Great. Now one by one we have to also add all that our name, that is method name as a create user. I copy it, and then that will be here as a create user. I want to take another one. Very easy process actually. I copy it and then I paste it, just simply as I told you. It's very important, you have to just remember how that process actually you have to done. Okay, and then also another one as a update user. I copy it and then here I paste it. That will be as a update user, and then another one as a delete user. I copy it and then that will be as a delete user. Okay, sorry, here that will be as a delete user. Great. Now our process will be same for the create. I want to pass it. That is our create user method, and then the get user. I simply pass that get user, get single, get update, and this one for the delete. Okay, I simply pass it. So friend, that's all you have to do. So now if you click at the save all, and better if you want to also check that our database is connected or not, I simply open the terminal, and with the terminal you can see our database is now successfully connected, as a database is connected. Great. Now if you go and again I want to check our get data is perfectly get this data or not, click the send. Yes, you can see it's now successfully get all the data. If you go there, now there is a true data. Now click the send. Now that should be get the true data. Yes, you can see it's also successfully get this data. Okay. And if you want to check it is perfectly get from our database or not, you can also check it. Like there is a task, into the task area I make it as a new update. Okay, new update 1. So this type of one of the name I simply update. Now let's check this out. This data is getted or not in our task. Into the task there is a before there is a this is a task 1 and this is a task 1, right? I want to do to send it. Yes, you can see it's now perfectly get this data from our database. So into this database I have updated this one, and now it's perfectly updated. I hope friend it's very much clear to you how can segment all that your data. That means how can segment all that your functions, how can segment all that your routes. Right now all that our route will be in route area, all that our controller, that means all that our functions will be in our controller area, and into the index area I simply loaded both of this. How much organized code is right now. Okay friend, so that's all you have to do. I hope it's very much clear to you, but you have to practice it friend. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.